My fellow Kenyans, the relationship between our Deputy President and his boss, President William Ruto, is not intact, and it is existing in an opposite direction, though many people cannot realize this. But according to how things are happening, it is not working out as expected. But before we go deep into that, I appreciate all of you who are supporting this channel, the new subscribers, returning viewers, everybody who is in this channel. You are making it successful. Feel so much appreciated. And also do not forget to share my videos. Send me your opinion in the comment section. I will appreciate so much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this relationship between our president and his deputy is so wanting because they have been having different opinions on different ideas, more specifically on the ideas of divisive politics, which is bringing a bad picture, more especially the relationship that President William Samoei Ruto is creating with the Nyanza region. It is bringing some worries to Rigathi Gachagua, who is his deputy. This is because if you observe the meeting that the president just decided to visit Nyanza for 4 days, Rigathi Gachagua, the deputy president, has kept off so much. He did not accompany the president. He has not been mentioned anywhere in that meeting. But the issue that has just arisen is the difference in opinions about the shareholding idea in the government. Of course, we know the president denied and disagreed with that opinion of shareholding on basis of voting, so that people can get development according to how they voted. To president, this one is wrong because every Kenyan pays tax and it is his or her own right to deserve the development regardless of the region, of voting, and any other things that can bring the obstacles of development. But these are just some few reasons as to why the relationship between the president and the deputy president are not working very well. The first one I have told you is about the tour in Nyanza. These two leaders have not been appearing together, and instead we have seen leaders like Moses Kuria who have been in Nyanza and others who have worked with the president. While we see deputy president himself went to Ruto's backyard in Nandi, where he has been pretending to talk so good about President William Ruto so that he can continue to be loved. But in Nyanza, he has not stepped there. Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen in regions like Kakamega, Kisii, Mount Kenya, these leaders have been working together. But come to the Nyanza region, he has excluded himself in this tour because he knows he is a person who have been driving the idea of pushing away Nyanza region from the government. Of course, we know Rigathi Gachagua is against the bipartisan talk that is ongoing because he told them to quit. There's nothing will come out of the talk. He has been a leader who is trying to threaten Nyanza region every time because he usually say anybody from Nyanza region or opposition who is trying to move closer to the president, he is going to deal with that person individually. And we see, according to the statements and how he has been bringing out ideas against Nyanza region, he has been creating poor relationship between the government and Nyanza region. And because the president himself has denied this issue of divisive politics, then it shows these people are not in good relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, to add on it, Deputy President says he is not apologetic to what he said over shareholding issue in government. And he says that he is not ashamed of doing it because even if it will cost him, he is ready. This region which voted immensely for the government should get more development and more opportunities. And this means that regions that this government got few votes, for example, Nyanza region, the president himself estimated to votes of around 3,000 votes. He says that it is not supposed to take equal development to these regions just because of voting. But this is not right as a democratic nation because we see the president has tried so much to accommodate every region in this government. For instance, from Nyanza, we have PSS and CSS. CS like Eliud Owalo, of ICT. We also have PS Raymond Omolo of Interior. These are the leaders from Nyanza region, and they are the people who have also benefited from this position in government. Although they could have been given more, but the issue of shareholding in government has become a threat so much. And it is only because Rigathi Gachagua has got no ability to chase away these leaders from Nyanza so that he can replace them with people from Mount Kenya. And if he can be given that opportunity, I'm sure he can grab that position from these two leaders of Nyanza region so that he can give this position to the people whom he feels that they deserve their position legally. And he cannot reverse this issue because the constitution gives everybody a right to be served equally in Kenya. And so because he is developing so much discrimination towards the Nyanza region, and on the same time, the president is trying to bring close Nyanza region to government by showing them love and equal opportunities in terms of development, then these two leaders are going contrary as people might think. They are not in agreement at all. We also see that the deputy president is ready to face the consequences that might come from the president because they are having different ideas on terms of shareholding in government. This is because he feels like he gave President William Samoei Ruto a lot of votes from Mount Kenya region. He is referring to these votes as individual effort, but we know it is not true. The fame of President William Samoei Ruto on Mount Kenya region was influenced by so many leaders. For example, Mount Kenya region had strong leaders from the grassroots who campaigned totally for President William Samoei Ruto. These leaders include Ndindi Nyoro, we have Kimani Ichung'wah, we have Kithure Kindiki, Linduri Mithika, we also have Alice Wahome, and lastly we have Wangui Ngirisi. Even President William Ruto himself went to Mount Kenya to beg for votes himself as an aspirant of presidential seat. It is not that the effort of Rigathi Gachagua himself was equal to what the results they scored, but it is a collaborative or a collective task that these leaders made to ensure that this president was successful. And so the overconfidence that this deputy president is giving himself about running on different direction with his boss just because he is confident that Mount Kenya, he himself and Mount Kenya gave President William Samoei Ruto a lot of votes, then he is just bragging because it was a collective responsibility for these leaders that I've just mentioned from Mount Kenya who campaigned for this president to be the president. And in fact, president himself was not afraid. He went there several times to mobilize people to give him votes, of which it came out the way they expected. And so the issue of this deputy president trying to justify his big position again in Kenyan government because of 87% of votes, I think he is just trying to undermine the effort of other leaders like Ndindi Nyoro who tried to mobilize votes from Mount Kenya region. And this one should not be used as an advantage of advocating for divisive politics in terms of shareholding, because all Kenyans pay taxes and they deserve development. And so because of that, as much as president is trying to unite Kenya, this divisive politics that is being championed by his deputy, it is bringing a lot of conflict because we see he is running the opposite direction to his boss, and it is not a good picture at all, which is contributing to this bad relationship that is already existing. Ladies and gentlemen, if Rigathi Gachagua today was the president, do you think he could have visited Nyanza for all those days? Do you think he could have championed for development that is taking place in Nyanza? And do you think he could have given these leaders like Eliud Owalo and Raymond Omolo the position to serve as CS and PS in their position? Of course, it could not be possible because this leader believes in discrimination, whereby he feels like every share should be given to Mount Kenya or the Rift Valley regions, because he believes these are the only regions that voted for this government, of which it is not good at all. And as a result, we see Nyanza region is has started already to develop bad attitude towards this deputy president. This is because he is pushing the Nyanza region away. He is trying to paint a lot of enmity between the president or the government and the Nyanza region and the Nyanza leaders. And lastly, he is trying to divide Kenya through the issue of votes and shareholding, of which this will haunt him in future, just in case he feels he can be the successor of President William Samoei Ruto, because the journey of tomorrow starts today, and this division is not good at all. Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember the previous regime when President Uhuru became so sweet to Nyanza region, whereby the relationship between Uhuru and Raila Amolo Odinga and the rest of Nyanza region was so tight and closed, to an extent that William Ruto was the deputy by that time, became an enemy of Nyanza region. And it turned out to be the last option was Ruto was thrown out of the government, and he was just there. He did not have any influence. And the same issue is happening right now, because we see Ruto is drawing himself near to the backyard of Raila Amolo Odinga. At the same time, hatred is becoming to be realized between Nyanza and Rigathi Gachagua. And as a result, it can still happen the way it happened previously, because the Nyanza region right now is seeing the president as the person who is trying to unite Kenya, and Rigathi Gachagua is a divider who is coming again in between to expand the boundaries between Nyanza and the government. And this might give him very low chances of succeeding President William Samoei Ruto. Of course, William Samoei Ruto cannot lack options of leaders who can take the place of Rigathi Gachagua, especially from Mount Kenya. He can pick on Kithure Kindiki, who is also an influential leader. He can pick on Ndindi Nyoro, or also he can pick from Western Musalia Mudavadi. And so this divisive politics can cause Rigathi Gachagua a lot in the coming politics if he is not very careful. In case he is not aware of this, he should just relax, mobilize unity of Kenya, and stop the issue of shareholding, because these regions are also part of Kenya, and he himself being the deputy president, he is the deputy president of Nyanza, of Mount Kenya, and every part of Kenya, not to those regions which voted for them immensely. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think about this analysis, but if you agree with me, please give me a like and send me your ideas on the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.